Okay. Let's deal with that level 40 quest with Yake. I was wondering when you'd show up, Desiree, but bugger me if you don't look ready to mill an entire crew of sorts by yourself. And benefit you, cause we finally uncovered some hard facts about that last treasure. Won't be long now before we cloy the winning piece and put the daft challenge to bed. Alright, I gathered the other course for a meeting, so let's get down to it. At long bloody last, the Black Sarcophagus has given up its secrets. Underfoot, you have some news for us? Ayake. I think half our troubles in whittling the truth of it lay in calling this nasty thing a treasure. The Black Sarcophagus ain't no dimber bauble. It's the Mark 51? No, not quite certain. My Roman letters are not up to the task right now. I believe it's 51, right? Magitech Mine. A bleeding prototype explosive that's bitten from an Imperial transport vessel. And even though it ain't that big, maybe the size of a small cargo box, they say the blasts have enough kick to incinerate a bloody behemoth. Seems the Garleans meant to start production at the factory in Lanosea when this spirit reminds through Castro Marinum. Lucky some plucky privateer clawed the prototype en route then, huh? An experimental weapon. That explains why the Thalassocracy was so bleeding eager to bid at that auction, and so reluctant to share the details with us. At least now we know the what, but there's still the question of the where. The curse delivered forbidden goods to the reformists, that much is certain. What happened to the sarcophagus after that, though, we ain't so sure. There have been no reports on a huge explosion or the like, so either the executioners still have a mine, or they've peddled it to some other buyer. The reformist faction came together out of shared hatred for the Admiral and her ways. I'm guessing they didn't cloy that bomb just to sell it. What is it, Lonnie? A letter for Yaka. Says it's urgent. A letter? Who is it from? The old man. I found it while I was sorting through our daily deliveries. Let's see. Come to Follows. I have urgent news. I've never known the old man to summon a customer. No one's seen him at his usual haunts for a while. So do you reckon there's some rum morsel he dug up just for us? Ah, it could be. Desiree, you and me are headed to Follows. Underfoot, Vakebe, you're to take another step at pinning down the location of a sarcophagus. Or this could be a trap. Follows is where? Upper Lanosea. Okay. Perfect weather for skulking. There's the corpse. You're done for, rogue. You're wasting your time, darling. We opened that scrap's wrinkled throat bells ago. You cross the bloody executioners, you get what's coming to you. Did you like our message? We wasn't sure you'd fall for it, but a little mystery goes a long way, huh? Ah, no, don't be like that, darling. Me and my mates didn't have that much choice. When boss says go play with the rogues, when we gotta play with the rogues. After all, we'd never ask you to come ruin our game now, did we? And don't give me no long-winded speech about your precious code. The reformist vision stretches far beyond what them tired old rules is good for. Once Captain Eisenbeard takes command of the executioners, he'll give us back the teeth we lost when we submitted to the Admiral's leash. We'll be the terrors of the sea once more, free to rove and plunder in a new age of pirates' glory. And I bath in blood to see that age come to pass. I'll kick down your shite stinking code and have all your sneaky heads on a chopping block. Like hells you will. The only sentence what's being passed today is yours. Well, hello there, darling. Ain't you a fine-looking lad? I've heard all this prattle before. Free to pillage and plunder, is it? Ah, it all sounds great, but you don't think of a price. That shite stinking code is the only thing that keeps your bloody cuffs from milling in one another. Without it, without Limsa Lominsa to call home, you'd be adrift in the ocean of squarence. But if you're so keen on keeping company with the dead, I'll be sorting happy to oblige. You was prettier with your gob shut, but I can see I'm out of my depth here. As much as I'd like to lop off your noggins, I'll have to be satisfied with dragging the two of you out into the wilds. Kept you well out of the way, haven't I? Out with it then. Ain't it obvious you stubborn scrags is looking to swipe our new toy, and my job was to stall you? The captain has the mine with him right now, and he set the show to show the rest of the executioners that he's got the stones to sit in the leader's chair. And what better way to do that than executing the bitch that snapped the chains on our crew? He's targeting the Admiral herself? You're planning on blowing up the command room, ain't you? Aye? You have me permission to panic, cause if you'd rather steer clear of the city, I'd be glad to keep you company, right? Here, sweet meat. We've got this mad mod at our mercy, but she seems to be enjoying herself. I'd better drag her back to the guild and see what other information she spill. I need you back in Limsa as well, but you have business at the foremast first. You should find Captain Malala at her post there. Forgot about the sorting challenge and tell her everything we know. Unless me judgment's well off kilter, she'll do what needs to be done. That bitch is blowing me a kiss. Okay, that is in Middle Anasia. Down here is the foremost. Okay, there's Captain Milala. Oh, you're one of the Yakka's rogues? You've come to steal the Sours, have you? Well, you shan't have them. As you can see, they're safely clasped upon my very own... You're not here for the earrings? The Admiral, you say? And you're sure these fiends are in possession of a sarcophagus? I must deploy more sentries at once. Do not think this avoids our challenge, rogue. As you can relay as much to your impudent guildmaster. I suppose you can thank him for the warning as well. And to the Rogues Guild. Okay, Yakka. So the Jacks are on the move. Banner. I've been listening to that adult pirate cackle since I got back to the sisters, but she gives us not what we didn't already know. And we know more than enough. I say we rally the rogues and go after that mine, before it blows up in our months. You'll need all the edge you can get for what's to come, so let's introduce you to a new trick. This one is called Shadow Fang. Do it right and you see your opponent start to wither for you. Even the toughest swords will be wondering why their knees are trembling halfway through a fight. I tell you it's best to sink the fangs in early, but I'm sure a clever lass like yourself will figure it out. Yeah, that's a dodge. The leader of the reformists, this Captain Isabel, is planning on milling the Admiral with a bang, then my guess is he'll be aiming to demolish the entire command room. You know the mizzenmast, the tower that holds the drowning wench and the bulwark? The Admiral's bridge and her command room are right at the top of it. Then you've got the district what surrounds the mizzenmast, that's the busy beating heart of the city. Even with the threat of an attack, you can't just seal it up in the blink of an eye and call the whole thing Bob. Try to explain the danger to the cults what live and work there, and you'd have a frightened stampeding mob on your fumbles. Nailers, our only option is to have ice snilching every approach to the tower. I'll put the wits out to as many coves as I can and spread them through the streets. Your job will be to cover the aft castle. Just wait and see. We'll get this Iserbeer. And his little bomb too. Fog picked up a Grand Knight to Rollenfig. This will make things interesting. Our presence on the streets is far too thin. Where are the reinforcements I ordered? My apologies, Captain. There just aren't any more soldiers to spare. The bulk of our force has already been assigned to guard not only the Admiral, but a number of other high-ranking personnel as well. Unacceptable. What could Commodore Rayner be thinking? There are dangerous criminals stalking the city as we speak. Call in squads from the outposts if you must, but I want to see our security tightened and the populace properly protected. But Captain, we can't be certain the pirates' plan hasn't changed. If we consider the possibility that they had switched to a target outside the walls, it would be folly to weaken those defenses. You made your point, Sergeant. Return to your post. Once all is lost, it's far too late to question what one should have done. He's in trouble, sir. Perhaps I can be of assistance. I've been dying to meet you, lass. Aye, keen to set eyes on the bold yellow belly that cost our crew a fortune in Uldan coin. You an executioner, one of Iserbeer's men. You've strayed too far into a world you don't understand, lass. Your eyes is fixed in the light of justice, leaving you blind to a chasm opening up at your feet. At least they say you died with your boots on. The yellow belly won't be bothering us no more, Captain. As for the mine, the lads have it primed in front of a wench by the time we get there. Good. Not long before we drag that bitch Admiral, her pretty tower and all her simpering curs down to the bottom of the sea. Then I'll raise our flag on the ruins of a missing mast and lead our brethren in a return to the old ways of blood and plunder. Shouldn't have a large bottle. A bottle? My wife is gonna kill me? What's that then? Not after the command room. I mean to bring down the entire tower. If the mizzenmast falls, the bridges will follow. Half the city will... Please. You must help me. The danger far greater than we... Bloody hells. It's alive. No, I didn't see nothing. Please, you must send word. Someone must be told. Yeah, that guy was just with Yakke, so he was close by. How did you... Your valiant and forthright weapon. You could hear that single pistol shot from miles away. Went hard to guess what happened. I poked the yellow jackets on my way over. A healer will be along shortly. Bene. That means we've only one last thing to do. We have never been allies, but I beg of you. You must stop them. Save the city. Alas, you know you don't need to ask. Taking down mad cows and biting back what's bitten is our job. You all set, then? Ready, Captain. Always. Let's go cloy that sarcophagus and fit Isobert for a new coffin. Defeat the reformers and prevent the explosion. Make for a mizzenmast and find Isobert. Not this way. More executioners. So many of them. I think the whole bloody crew is here. Then you know how I am tracking down stragglers. And I get to tank again. My freaking potion. You can't stop us now, Scrags. Only 3 minutes and the show begins. What? That's it then? Find and smash from detonators. Check the ramps going up and going down. We keep these cuffs busy. Seconds. Seconds. Jackets are fighting. First the detonator, then you. Light on the mine went out. Then we will disable the sarcophagus. The bomb taken care of, and now these bastards get our full attention. Damn you rogues with your swiving code. I'll have your bloody heads for this. I believe I stay with the followers here. Leave a guy with a question mark to the guys with the question marks. This wasn't part of my plan. I could have been a king among pirates. And she's... well, okay. Status report? The mine has been disabled and the engineers should soon have it safely removed. Our soldiers sustained some injuries in the battle with the reformists, but none were fatal. Also, the Admiral sent her sincerest gratitude. Look where she is. That's Captain Milala, the hero of Limsa-Lominster. Are you recovered from your wound, Captain? We heard how you very nearly lost your life stopping that horde of pirates from blowing up the mizzenmast. 3 cheers to the Yellow Jackets. Our city be lost without you. But wait, that's not how it... Sergeant, what of the rogues? Did they survive the battle? I don't rightly know, Captain. All we found near the sarcophagus were reformists, either dead or strung from the rafters. Alive then. It would seem we are deeply in their debt. Captain, might I have the silver sorrows for me now? We've been ordered to hand them over to the Commodore along with the Black Sarcophagus. Why, of course, they're right. The earrings. I could have sworn I was still... You wouldn't have. He stole them from me while I lay dying? But Cat! I knew he was not to be trusted. Keep an eye on them, indeed. I should have known. Yep. Jacke nabbed them. And he now wears them. Are you sure about this, Jacke? We should have clawed the sarcophagus as well. I think she earned it, don't you? If it bothers you that much, think of it as a trade. If you ask me, they look a bit daft. Well, I didn't ask you. So, the jackets ended up with a mine, and we've got the diamond in the earring, which means victory belongs to the Rogues Guild. Do you think Milala leaves it at that then? I got a feeling we ain't done with her yet. I'd say we're done with her challenge, but you never know when our path will cross again. We just have to see what Limsa's underbelly spits up next. Aye, the cities ain't ever quiet for long. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you, Desiree. If I ever need a trusty pair of stabbers by my side, I'll know who to ask. I'm off as well. Bloody starving I am. Don't forget you yaffle a bit when you can, eh, Desiree? We'd best head back to the sisters too before the shrew decides she'd rather hear us cry cockles. Better work, Desiree. Be seeing you soon. Yep, Captain Jacke is that good. Oh, there, Desiree. It'll be nice to finally have a bit of rest, huh? The job never ends, but even a dimbaderer like myself needs to breathe every now and again. And your venturing mates must be wondering where you got out to. It was a proper long assignment, but I'm glad you decided to see it through. You've proven to be a stalwart protector of a code, even if it ain't truly your world. When you walk back into the Lightsman's, you'll have to find your own code to uphold. And when you do, you'll have the skills you learned in the shadows to help you defend it. Well, that's more than enough prattle out of me. Your travels might take you far and wide, Desiree, but know you're always welcome here at the Sisters. Okay, and that was the Rogues questline for the Rogue's Questline, but because now comes. We continue. We have a soul of a ninja, meaning our rogue evolves to a ninja. But that will not be this episode. So until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I'm Mace and don't get lost.